Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Crictime Podcast. And today we've got a full squad with us, as is the Indian squad, which has just been announced for the Sri Lanka tour. And we're going to get into all of that, the whole captaincy drama, Hardik Pandya getting possibly sacked from the vice captain position, an unlikely name being selected, the T20 captain being announced, as well as the Zimbabwe tour. So a lot to talk about, and none other than to talk about all of this than Shivam and Suyash. I'm going to get these names confused one day or another because they both start with S's. But before we get into all of that, make sure you leave a like rating, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you follow us on all of our social media pages for the latest win. How do you feel and how has your life changed? Because मैंने और सुयश ने तो डिसाइड कर लिया कि अब से जिंदगी में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आएगी बस वो क्लिप देख लेंगे सूर्य कुमार के कैच का एंड विल जस्ट मूव ऑन लाइक नथिंग's happened. Just move on
I
like
told you, right? Whatever my predictions were, absolute point on India versus South Africa. No one was agreeing. I still remember, but you guys have to believe me, right? So, yeah, glad to be. India won the World Cup, and a lot of things happening these days in cricket. So, yes, very good discussion. This is going to
I think you also predicted Afghanistan and like New Zealand getting out of the group stage. That also came right.
even Australia not getting to semi-final.
Yeah.
he had everything.
Bold
He had
predictions
everything
and
going for
yeah,
him. Yeah.
yeah.
He had everything going for him right there and then.
Contacted Jay Shah, I believe.
जयशाह का स्क्रिप्ट राइटर यही है वो नहीं होते
Yeah.
असिस्टेंट राइटर्स कॉपी राइटर्स टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स तो वो शिवम ही कर रहा है शिवम तो इसी बात में भाई ये भी बता दो श्रीलंका के साथ क्या होने वाला है बट कैप्टनसी आज जो अनाउंस हुई है उस पर भी पहले बात कर लेते हैं
No, this was like very shocking to me. मतलब हार्दिक पांड्या को जैसे हटाया इन लोग आई मीन काफी हॉट टॉपिक था ये पिछले 2-3 दिन से बट आई वाज शॉक्ड कि इसको स्टैंप लगा दिया आज की सूर्य कुमार यादव विच वाज ही वाज नॉट इन कंटेंशन फॉर लाइक लास्ट 2 years और 1 year बट आउट ऑफ द सडन कहीं से आ जाते हैं कि हाँ मैं कैप्टन होऊंगा थोड़ा सा मुझे कंसर्न्स हैं क्योंकि वो बहुत ही फ्रीडम वाला क्रिकेटर है आई डोंट नो उस पर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कैसे रहेगी सो आई डोंट थिंक ही हैजंट बीन द कैप्टन फॉर एन आईपीएल फ्रेंचाइज इफ नॉट केकेआर फॉर सम टाइम सो लेट्स सी हाउ इट does.
I think for me, most surprising to Ye, because I think Suyash we both spoke about this last time when we said candidates, we had Gill in there because everyone's always talking about Gill. We were saying Hardik Pandya to a certain degree, but Surya was one name that both of us kind of skipped. And we didn't think because we thought चलो आईपीएल में कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है डोमेस्टिक लेवल में भी कोई ऐसी शोर नहीं है कि सूर्य इज गोना बी द नेक्स्ट कैप्टन एंड देयर इज नो रीजन टू बिलीव दैट ही माइट be that case. But the other surprising fact is ke firing Hardik Pandya as the vice captain, especially in ODI cricket, especially in T20 cricket, where he's done quite well. And I thought India do have a chance of the Champions Trophy winning it without Hardik Pandya. Granted, how they played in the 2023 World Cup, but in the same time, they need someone like Hardik Pandya in the squad, irrespective of what sort of form he's in, what sort of matches he's played in the last few games. If you look at it, but at the end of the day, especially in T20s, bhai, he's more or less won India the World Cup this time around, and he's got the experience. Is it Suyash? Maybe it might be because ke bhai, Mumbai ke saath they saw what happened and they were like, there's still a lot of things going on in this team, and then we need to think out of the box and find someone new.
Yeah, मेरे को तो यार देखो दो चीजें हैं एक तो हार्दिक को क्यों हटाया अगर उससे बात करें if I want to talk about why was Hardik excluded if I have to find reasons then I think two reasons एक which you rightly said कि his performance in IPL was not good he was under pressure didn't look like making the right bowling choices right decisions at the toss was in different frames of mind second according to me is his personal problems I think he is even you saw at Ambani's wedding he was alone and having more alcohol than others so I believe he has some personal problems as well ongoing in his life which the team management might not be very comfortable with him being the captain for the time being at the same time we must remember that T20 things change very quickly right World Cups come at every 2 years. You have IPL every year. You have new players coming in every year. Who knew Abhishek Sharma before IPL? No one, right? Before this season of IPL, but now he is one of the top contenders of a space in the team and challenging Yashasvi. So in T20 things change very quickly, and I think that might just be the thought process behind bringing in Surya, because you see. Surya does not have much cricket left in him. I think maximum 3 to 4 years. So I think Surya, if they are going ahead with Surya, probably he'll be a short-term captain for like 2, 3 years, and then they'll take a call. But according to me, again, as rightly said, I would not have, had the Surya. Shivam also rightly said he's more of a casual guy. Even in tough situations, he'll be seen chewing gum, just chewing gums, and being fun. So I don't think that's a sign of a very good captain. At the same time, I'm thinking about Mumbai Indians as well. Like, the captain is Hardik Pandya. So Surya is playing under Hardik Pandya. Now in T20 is for the Indian team, it will be Surya captain and Hardik Pandya playing under him. So yeah, I mean, again, friction. Mumbai Indians, that tag Indians is actually being, justified by, again, conflicts coming between Mumbai Indians and India.
One point I want like to make here is the statement from BCCI is that the captaincy for the Sri Lanka series is given to Surya Kumar Yadav. Do you think that there is a chance that Bumrah, when he returns, will get the T20 captaincy?
We spoke about this last time, Suyash and I, and we said Bumrah, do we see him playing all three formats? Do we see him playing, 60 games a year? And leading in one of those formats at least for now, if not the ODI. And the clear answer for us was that it's not possible. If you look at the greatest of bowlers, if you look at Stuart Broad, if you look at James Anderson, Mitchell Stark to a certain degree, maybe Pat Cummins, down the line, he might follow this route as well. It's fast bowlers tend to drop formats as they get older, and they most likely start with T20s because irrespective of what generation you're from, test matches is always considered as the pinnacle of cricket. So yes, I do see him maybe in the future playing quite well, or even captaining an ODI team or a test team if need be. But in T20s, it's going to be one of those cases which is a similar case as Suyash mentioned with Surya Kumar Yadav, where you'll have Bumrah for the next year, 2 years, but then you'll have to look forward once that 2026 T20 World Cup finishes. You'll still be in the lookout for a permanent captain. I think this is why they've gone and said, okay, Hardik prone to injuries, Bumrah, can't trust him across three formats. Surya, you keep him for another 2 years, give Shubman Gill sort of the experience he needs, because they've seen, okay, Zimbabwe tour itna successful tha nahi jitna hona chahiye tha, and they've gone, chalo, this is the right combination to go with. Plus, Gautam, I think, has worked with Surya, if I'm not wrong, at KKR.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got, at the time, Shubman was at the KKR Academy. If he wasn't in the main team, he has been a part of that KKR franchise. So it's two people that I think Gautam Gambhir trusts more than anyone else in this team.
Yeah.
And then he's also got the added factor of all of the sort of rumors we heard during the IPL between Bumrah, Rohit, and Hardik as Mumbai players. So it's a combination of a lot of things that has resulted to this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can only make guesses here. Not sure who took this decision, and maybe Hardik Pandya himself said that I'm not in the right frame of mind to take the captaincy right now, given what happened with him taking the captaincy for Mumbai Indians. That could also be an angle, who knows, right? So, according to me, to Shivam's question, I would not mind Bumrah. As I said, even in the previous podcast, I want Bumrah to captain India, and if he's able to take that load, I mean, up to him. If he's able to take that load, I think, yeah, according to me, Bumrah is a better choice than Surya Kumar Yadav. But again, yeah, you make a fair point about workload management as well.
The other question that I have now is, if you fix Shubman Gill as the vice captain of the side, then you are guaranteeing him the opener spot. Do you see him opening in the T20 squad with Yashasvi Jaiswal and Abhishek Sharma and people fighting for that spot?
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. According to me, that should not have been the case. Like, making him the vice captain essentially means that you are kind of thinking him as the backbone of the team, which I don't know why he's automatically selected in all the 5 ODIs. I don't think he batted explosively in any of the ODIs. It was and if you have two explosive batsmen, you need to back them, right? In India, you rarely get explosive batsmen like, Yashasvi and Abhishek. It was just Rohit Sharma who was carrying us as an explosive batsman for like 10, 15 years, post Sehwag left. So I think when you have the option of, many of the, YouTubers, and I see reels, people comparing Yashasvi and, Abhishek Sharma to Matthew Hidden and Adam Gilchrist. I mean, obviously a very far-fetched comparison, but why not have two left-handers to start off? Like, we should look forward to, and I completely agree. Shubman Gill should not be an automatic starter if he is not upping his run rate, given that we also have Rituraj Gaikwad in contention for number 3, who is also a similar profile player as Shubman Gill.
I think Shubman coming in the power play has damaged India more than it has helped. We know
Yep.
he's incredible batsman. Not taking away from what he's got up his sleeve, but he's more of a Virat Kohli kind of a player. Joe, he likes to take time to settle in. He can't just You can't expect him to go off like Sharma did throughout the T20 World Cup, and you can't expect him to do what Abhishek Sharma did throughout the IPL. We can clearly see the difference between the two, and power play में आपको दो big hitters चाहिए होते हैं, because right now if you look at it, आप T20 World Cup को साइड में रखो थोड़ा सा, या even if this the US games अगर साइड में रखो, तो average score 180 plus होता ही है per team, and anything below 180 is always considered a low score now, irrespective IPL हो या West Indies में जितने भी games हुए. So once you have to hit that benchmark every game, the expectation in the power play is कि भाई you have to go 10 and over, you have to go 11 and over to balance it out. With Shubman, you can't achieve that unless he's going for sixes from the first ball. You have to play Jaiswal and you have to play Abhishek Sharma. Dono explosive batsmen hai. And again, not taking away from Gill, you plot him into number 3 position and you say you are perfectly capable of coming out of the power play. You're right towards the end of the power play where the damage has already been done, and all you need to do is build up an innings and let the finishers do their job right at the end, like Kohli has done for numerous amount of tournaments, numerous amount of years. Yes, he needs to be mature enough to accept that, okay, I've tried the opening position, I'm better fit at number 3, number 4, let's try that before I go up to the the coach or the manager and say, "Bhai, chalo, this is not something I like." But right now, with the way he's behaving, it almost seems like he's certain that if I'm the captain, it's my way or the highway kind of situation. Which Gambhir, I'm pretty sure, won't let it happen. VVS Lakshman has let it happen in Zimbabwe. I think once Gambhir steps in, it'll be very different. And I wouldn't be surprised if Siraj opening karne aaye Abhishek Sharma ke saath, and even Jaiswal gets pushed down one, and Gill's number 11 are right at the end to score that one or two runs at the end. So with what's it called, Gambhir, it's very hard to predict.
Yeah. And one more thing, if you guys observe, like,
on this topic and everything, just a quick one. All those speculations about Hardik Pandya's personal life, they've just posted on Instagram saying they have mutually parted ways. So just to clear up that those are not rumors anymore, but those are actual news now.
Okay, that's sad. I wish it would, but it didn't.
So I think it's got to do with, I think the captaincy has got to do with a lot of it has got to do with the fact that he personally would have not felt like he's ready to lead a team, and considering what has been happening at Mumbai Indians, he would have had a lot of doubts, and rightly so. He might have decided to say, all right, I need some time before I can come back into cricket properly.
Respect for Gabbar Shikhar Dhawan. He was in a similar situation, and whenever BCCI scapegoated him as a captain, he was always there to take it. He was in a very similar situation, and yeah, so respect to him. Just on that, I have one thing to point out. So if you see the ODI squad, there also the vice captain Shubman. I think there is a hidden message there that KL Rahul, you're not a starter in this.
Yeah, I think
according to me, vice captain should have been KL Rahul, right? If he was a starter in the team, but he's
that's
not, so.
very certain when you have someone like Rishabh Pant there, no? So he's just a filler kind of player, and it's one of those where BCCI ने Instagram खोला होगा, Twitter खोला होगा, कहा होगा यार KL के इतने sad reels बने हुए, दे दो एक और chance. और I know I've sat in this channel and बहुत मजाक उड़ाया KL राहुल का, but I think मेरी respect उसके लिए बढ़ती जाती. The more I see him like just stay silent on everything and the way he's not reacting to anything, but मुझे इतना तो certain हूँ मैं कि इसको हर एक पोजीशन अभी फिर ट्राई करी जाएगी, एंड हर एक पोजीशन में कोई ना कोई एक अच्छी इनिंग्स खेलेगा, एंड स्टिल पीपल विल बी लाइक कि नहीं, ये फिटिंग नहीं है इस टीम में. सो
I think LSG have released him, right?
Yeah, they have. As a captain, they have. Not as a player yet, but ये मेगा ऑक्शन जबरदस्त होने वाला है भाई. Kohli might come in. No, Kohli might not come into the market, but Rohit Sharma might leave Mumbai. You have Pant who might want to go to CSK अगर धोनी रिटायर करता है, and suddenly you've got KL who's being released as well. तो ये IPL auction जो आने वाला है in the next few months, and the retentions जो होंगे वो देखने लायक होंगे, because this will be very interesting for everyone. But just diving more into the ODI squad first. Let's start with the openers are very clear. I'm very surprised, firstly, to begin with, that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have been selected. I thought they would have given them a longer break. But considering India only play, I think, out of 40 matches ahead of the 2025 Champions Trophy, they play 6 of those are actual ODIs, or 7 of them are ODIs, and 3 of them are against Sri Lanka. So what do you guys think? good choice, good decision for them to bring them back right away and say, okay, bhai, no, we need you and we need to build a core here. Is this Gambhir's tactic of saying no one's bigger than the team? मैं coach हूँ, आना पड़ेगा कोई भी हो जाए.
Yeah,
No, it's a
absolutely.
very
I
good
mean,
decision. Yeah, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
So yeah, I think it's a very good decision actually. पहले हम लोग सोचते थे कि वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट वगैरह का काम आता है, तो T20 से रिटायर्ड भी हैं, बहुत ब्रेक मिलेगा उनको आगे चल के. ODIs हैं नहीं इस पूरे साल, और you said six ODIs or seven rough ODIs are left till Champions Trophy, so practice करने का भी समय नहीं है. And when you are preparing for a big tournament, you have to play all your best to make the entire team ready. उनको एक दूसरे के साथ सिंक होने में टाइम लगता है, इवन कोच को प्लेयर्स के साथ सिंक होने में टाइम लगता है, वो भी नया है, और प्लेयर्स पे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी अलग है, वर्कलोड भी काफी मैनेज्ड है. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी गुड डिसीजन, एंड रेडीली विराट कोहली और रोहित शर्मा ने अग्री किया है. मैंने कभी भी एक भी रिपोर्ट नहीं देखी जिसमें विराट कोहली कह रहा हो कि मुझे नहीं खेलना है या मुझे रेस्ट चाहिए, जो हर बार होता है. सो it's a good sign as a team.
But I have one question. So he's in London. So will BCCI pay for him coming to Sri Lanka, or he will come by his own?
उसका प्राइवेट जेट है.
Yeah, so in any case, my thing on this is that Gambhir has just become the coach, and he is eager to make an impact, and he would want the best team to be available every time so that he takes the right decision. And Champions Trophy is the first test for him. I think much like Virat Kohli, Gautam Gambhir also has a lot of haters, so they are eyeing an opportunity. If India perform badly in Champions Trophy, surely people will ask for Gambhir's head. So he knows it, and especially people from Pakistan. So he knows it, and I think that's why probably he is choosing to go with a strong line.
Strong
And
lineup
also, I
मुझे
think
समझ में आती है.
one more point. I think one more point would be that he also doesn't want Rohit and Kohli and the big players to just be caught up in the euphoria of World Cup and just stay in that zone. Get back to cricket as soon as possible, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of work left to be done. It's just T20 World Cup.
Good point there by saying कि we want a strong team, and then clearly shows with all the main players being there. रेयान पराग कैसे घुस गया वहाँ? मेरे को ये बताओ पहले.
Over रविंद्र जडेजा.
कैसे? जडेजा ने कहा मैं T20 से रिटायरमेंट कह रहा हूँ, गंभीर ने कहा नहीं आप सबसे ले रहे हो, आपको पता नहीं है, बट मैं आपको सब फॉर्मेट से निकाल रहा हूँ. ये इसको कहाँ से आया ये? और इसके especially knowing Sanju Samson played what? He scored a century in India's last ODI game, if I'm not wrong, after the World Cup. तो ये तो मुझे बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया. शामी इज बैक इन ट्रेनिंग. शामी का कोई नाम नहीं है, चलो ठीक है, he might still not be fully fit. बुमराह, I'm guessing they're giving him a break. बट व्हाट्स इट कॉल्ड, गंभीर इज गॉन के भाई जितने भी मेन बॉलर्स हैं, जितने भी मेन प्लेयर्स हैं, सबको हटा दो. हम लोग की बैटिंग स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए, बॉलिंग में सब कुछ करना है. एंड सिराज को तो सीरियसली रखा है कि भाई देखो बाकी बॉलर्स तो कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे, 50 पे ऑल आउट कौन कर पाएगा? सिराज कर पाएगा, हर गेम में कर देगा, तीनों गेम्स में. बट ये कोई मुझे अगर ये बता देगा कि भाई शिवम दुबे और रेयान पराग इस टीम में कैसे घुसे हैं, तो I don't understand. I don't know how they've made it into this team.
I think he's a very arrogant guy. Everyone knows it, and probably Gautam Gambhir's way to make him humble. Like he'll carry the water throughout the tournament. I think he does not have a spot in starting 11 for sure. I think he'll carry the water, and he'll see he'll be humbled. I mean, I'm saying it sarcastically, but I hope he gets humbled, because he always comes up with very, very, arrogant statements despite not having those credentials. Again, I do not watch Vijay Hazare. I have not followed it. Maybe he has scored some runs there, and that's why he's been selected. Shivam, do you know something?
I see. According to me, I don't know what's the case with Jadeja, but seeing Riyan Parag and Shivam Dube in the team, I think that they are promoting the inclusions of all-rounders more. So yeah, because Riyan Parag, you have seen in IPL historic, he has been bowling consistently for like around 2 to 3 overs every match, and those are productive overs. Either he'll take wickets or those will be very economical. And with the bat, when he hits, he is a very dangerous batsman. So maybe they are making him used to the team environment, making him aware of how things go within the seniors and within the new management. So keeping him as a backup for a longer run. He's very young still. He has immense potential. We have seen this in this IPL season. So I think Riyan Parag, this I don't get any sense out of this selection, but if you need to make any sense, this is the sense.
And then Harshit Rana as well, right? Like what is the rationale behind Harshit Rana?
Harshit Rana has,
I think that's KKR tax
played,
kind of thing.
Yeah, KKR.
Yeah.
He has played under GG a lot.
But what's surprising is you pick Harshit Rana for ODI, based off of his IPL performances, and don't pick him in the T20 series. He's not there in the T20 series, if I'm not wrong. So he's gone with
Yeah, he's not
Arshdeep
there.
Singh, Khalil Ahmed, and Siraj with T20s, but he's brought him into ODI squad. Whereas he could have swapped Arshdeep and Harshit in the ODI and T20 squad and said, "Chalo, Harshit, you need T20 experience, and Arshdeep, let's try you out for ODIs for a bit," which is very weird as well. So India की squad अगर ODI की देखी जाए, overall the core still remains the same in terms of what it was in the
And
2023
bhai,
World Cup.
one more thing, where is Yuzi Chahal? Was he there to only carry water in T20 World Cup?
I think उसकी चांस हो गई, वो रियान पराग आ गया, वो लेके चला गया। वो उन्होंने कहा कि भाई आपने पानी बहुत पिला दिया, अब हम लोग को किसी की ईगो सही कर रही है। So yeah, no, the ODI squad more or less, I guess the course remains the same, still with the major players still being there, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul. याद है तो वर्ल्ड कप की थोड़ी बहुत आएंगी जब ये लोग सब बैटिंग करने बाहर आएंगे, but it's the 29th of June that sort of will help with that. In terms of T20s, कैप्टन साहब यादव साहब ने बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग लाइनअप फिर पिक करी है। रिंकू सिंह, I'm happy that he's in the squad, and I'm guessing both of you will also agree that being under Gigi, he'll get a lot more chances and he'll be in the playing 11. He'll be one of the first names in the playing 11, if I'm not wrong.
So I'm very glad to see Shreyas Iyer on that list because he's returning and he was dropped from the central contract as well.
Yeah.
So showing trust back on him is a very good aspect from this team.
Yeah, Iyer is in
yes,
ODIs, not in T20.
yes, ODIs. Yeah.
Rishabh Pant, and I say that with respect to what Rishabh Pant has achieved for India, but in the shorter format, मुझे नहीं लगता Rishabh Pant is as effective as he is in Test matches or even in ODIs in some senses. What I've seen throughout this World Cup is him playing one innings against Pakistan in which he was dropped 5 times, who scored more than 30 runs, and all across the board he had scores below 10 runs, and all of his wickets were not because bowler had a good day, yeah, the catch was incredible, yeah, he just played a bad shot on a good ball. It was because he had zero patience and he wanted to hit every ball out of the park or just make the most obnoxious shot he can, which I think isn't the approach to go. So my thing would be कि भाई चलो संजू सैमसन को आप खिलाओ थोड़ा in this one because he's not got the ODI chances. But you pull Rishabh Pant back and you try to put in Rinku Singh. So you have that wicket keeper in Sanjay Samsung, but there you also have Rinku Singh who can finish off games and who can play well as well. Riyan Prayag fits in maybe in that third position, knowing Abhishek Sharma is not there, which I still don't understand why that is. He scored, he was what, 600 runs or 400, 500 runs with a strike rate of 200 plus, 42 sixes, more than any sixes in this IPL than anyone else. Zimbabwe tour में century बनाई है. It's just one of those things where they do try out players in the smaller series या associate team series और फिर एकदम से आके कुछ ऐसे selections हो जाते हैं कि कुछ sense नहीं बनती है. And it doesn't make sense for people to think maybe the player himself has requested time off because someone like Abhishek Sharma must be dying right now to get his kit on and start playing again. उसको कह दो कि भाई आपको रोज मैच खेलने, वो कह देगा चलो खेलते हैं. That's the kind of hunger the youngsters have.
If I have to put it like Sunil Gavaskar, I would say utter nonsense of not selecting Abhishek Sharma. This is like, who was that guy who scored triple century and was dropped in the next game? I think
Karun Nair.
Karun Nair.
Yeah. So I think something similar. I don't understand at all. Yeah. How can you drop Abhishek Sharma the way he played for SRH in IPL and like this is insane.
It makes no sense. भाई आपके पास चलो गिल और जायसवाल, you might use them as openers, but not giving him the opportunity and this being a big opportunity because जितना भी आप जिम्बाब्वे में जीत के आ जाओ, श्रीलंका से जीतना एक अलग challenge है. Plus knowing you're playing in front of the coach of the Indian team. He's no longer the interim coach. Yeah, he's no longer the temporary coach. Plus, you're playing in a squad full of stars. Again, Zimbabwe, the guys that went, they were just boys. They were just starting off their careers, and there was not a lot of senior players in respect. Even with Sanju Samson, you look at him, he's not had a lot of experience playing T20 cricket. Yes, he's a bit older than the other guys on the squad, but you still consider him as young as the others, such as Shubman Gill. one big name that's been all over the internet right now, Ruturaj Gaikwad. One name that has not also been included in this squad. Harsha Bhogle said a few days ago that if you see him play in the last few games and then you look at the Indian squad and if you don't see his name there, then that means that this Indian team is out of this planet. Shivam, do you agree with this comment, or do you think that Ruturaj not being selected is fair and isn't ready for his chance yet?
No, see, at least for the squad, he was fit. I think he should have been included in the squad in the 15. Playing him in the 11 or not, it's the choice of the captain management. So yes, it's a blunder that the team has made. They are not showing trust on the youngsters. It was not that he never performed in the Zimbabwe series. He scored some 70 odd runs in one of the innings and he showed potential. So I think that is a mistake that the team has made. But nevertheless, new team, new management. Let's see. Maybe they are trying out people. Maybe they are making some decisions whom to phase out from the team because Sanju Samson has been getting some chances in the
Right,
past.
right.
So don't know like what is going on in their.
It's not the case. And then I see there's too much reliance on Shubman Gill, right? Like you don't have Abhishek Sharma, you don't have Rituraj Gaikwad. You have to go with Shubman Gill and S2E as the openers. And if any one of them gets, injured, you have to have a makeshift opener. So you don't have a backup opener at all in this squad. So I'm not sure what the thought process is, what was wrong in, dropping Riyan Parag and getting Abhishek Sharma or maybe a Rituraj Gaikwad. And remember, you've now lost Virat Kohli from T20 guys, right? And you need someone to fill in his shoes. And I think Ruturaj was kind of doing that role at number three, where he was kind of anchoring the inning, playing at a strike rate of around 150 to 160, very similar to Virat Kohli and accelerating towards the end. I think even Gill does that to an extent, but Gill is more of an opener and, he can be explosive at times as well. So, I mean, people do compare Gill with Kohli, but I think in T20s, Rituraj could have been that person who could have filled in the shoes of, or at least tried to fill in the shoes of Virat Kohli.
Yeah, so with Washington Sundar coming in, I see him filling the space of Ravindra Jadeja in the team. He's also a proper all-rounder. He won the man of the series against Zimbabwe. And he has the potential to bat up the order as well. RCB also tried him in 2016 or 2017 as an opener, where he failed, but he has potential. So I don't mind seeing him as an opener if, let's say, someone fails at the top. So he gives,
But I would
yeah.
kind of disagree with this. I mean, like the way he was playing in that first ODI, first T20 against Zimbabwe. I mean, I don't know, man. He should have won us that game. I think he was not able to hit at all. He came at I think number nine or number eight. I'm not sure, and he was relying too much on the tail enders to get singles, etc. And then when he was trying to strike the ball, he was not able to. Maybe it was not his day. Yes, he has opened. I agree that he can open, but I don't think. I think Jadeja का shoes fill in करने के लिए we have Akshar Patel.
Adding to that point, I don't think he is a match winner. He is someone like Sunil Narayan who you can, use him to your advantage as an opener. He will give you some runs, but he's not a match winner or something who will come at the death and win you matches because he doesn't have that potential as far as I can see. But yes, he's a genuine, power play spinner who can give you two odd overs in the power play, very cheap, very economic. So you can utilize him in that, phase.
I think that in that sense, it's a right choice. Like Akshar and Washington, they just give you an extra batting ability. You just bat deeper and deeper. We've seen what Akshar did throughout the T20 World Cup as well. So these two options for me fit well, and I think the reason why they've opted out with Abhishek Sharma and maybe to a certain degree Ruturaj Gaikwad is certainly because of these players. They know if they have someone who can bat number 8, number 9, they can slot in Rishabh Pant at 3 like they were doing in the World Cup and let Shubman and Yashasvi just take over the opening. Then you've sort of got only one or two positions remaining, which you'll have to give to someone like Surya as the captain. Hardik Pandya has to be there in there as well, and then you need to have a few of your bowlers. So if you look at it in the sense of what how Shivam is explaining it, then these selections make sense. Then Ruturaj or what's it called, Abhishek Sharma's selection
Abhishek.
would have just been to fill in for Waterboy. And as much as maybe Suyash might have enjoyed that, like he's doing with Riyan Parag, but I think it would not have gone down too well. Yes, do I think Abhishek deserves more of a starting 11 chance than Shubman? Yes, 110%. He's played incredibly well. He's shown intent not just throughout the IPL but against Zimbabwe as well. Yashasvi as well for me gets ahead of Shubman, but because he's the vice captain, you can't kick him out of the team or you can't not give him the chance. And especially जब आप अभी fresh बनाओगे किसी को vice captain, you can't just make him a vice captain and keep him out of the first squad of this coach's era. So that's kind of the approach that I
Yeah,
see they've gone with.
according to me, at T20, I think especially the way this IPL transpired and the way that we have won the World Cup now, I think the golden generation of Indian T20 cricket is about to come if they are coached in the right. We have really explosive batsmen, and this T20 format right now is very explosive. The more explosive you are, the better team you will be. So I am shocked, that you are dropping players like Abhishek Sharma who are so explosive. You dropped Rinku Singh from the T20 World Cup. We won the World Cup, fine, but I mean, you have to have these players like these kind of players, and for that matter, even Shivam Dube. I know these players will not perform in all the matches, like they'll not be explosive in all the matches, right? But West Indies players, West Indies have also won a World Cup in T20. They have not won all the World Cups, but they have won a World Cup. Why? Because they have explosive. You have to show trust on explosive players. They are not going to perform in every match. You have to back them. But what I'm seeing here is a bit of defensive approach with Shubman Gill trying to have that stability and stuff. Trying to go with the legacy that Shubman Gill has as a batsman. So I would have especially given the T20 World Cup is 2 years away. 2 years is a lot of time for T20. As I said, like you never know in the next IPL who would be the next star. Maybe sitting next he's my neighbor right now, and tomorrow he becomes a star of Indian cricket. That's how the stronger mechanisms are in T20 cricket. So I am very surprised that they are not experimenting with very explosive players, especially in this series, which matters not much, to be honest.
No, very rightly said, I would say. Australia also against the England series, if you check their squad, उन्होंने मैकर को लिया है, ट्रेविस हेड के साथ ओपनिंग उनकी फिर हो गई. तो just see how they are changing things after losing that tournament. दिखाना होता है ट्रस्ट आपको अपने youngsters पे, अपने विस्फोटक बल्लेबाजों पे. तो I think Abhishek Sharma should have been the first choice, but nevertheless, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Shivam Dube? I know we spoke, he's got the talent, but do you think he'll be as successful as India expect him to be? एक time पे Hardik Pandya, I think he's got the kind of arc Hardik Pandya has had, where he's come into this team and he's broken into this team because of his performances, and he's got a big name now, but does he live up to those expectations? World Cup में देखा था he did struggle. I don't think his name
Yeah.
was there in the Zimbabwe series, if I'm not wrong. Now he's come back into the team. Where does he fit, knowing we've just said that we need explosive players, and out of this squad, if I look at this squad, who do I think can be explosive other than Yadav and Pant and Rinku Singh? I would say Shivam Dube would be your next man to kind of hit it out of the park. But at the same time, as Sayash said कि भाई ठीक है, consistency might not matter as much in T20s, but ऐसी भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि you have a string of 6 or 7 games where you've not scored more than 10. So Shivam Dube, for you guys, how much of him do you want to see in Indian cricket? Because he's going to be playing both T20s and ODIs. Is that the right decision by BCCI?
Yeah, I'll go first, and then I'll let Shivam talk about Shivam. So, so I think, yeah. So, according to me, unpopular opinion, but I think we should play Shivam Dube more in ODI cricket. What I have seen from this guy Shivam is that he is a confidence player. Like when he settles in, he has played a few balls, then he starts exploding. I mean, in IPL, he was exploding from ball one, but if you saw the T20s, the World Cup, he took his time and then was hitting. According to me, he still lacks that confidence and he still needs some coaching. But I do see glimpses of Yuvraj Singh in him. So if he is properly coached and if he is properly used, according to me, he should play more ODI cricket where he gets to play more deliveries. He gets that confidence at international level. At T20, what's happening is he's coming at number 5, number 6, where the first 4 or 5 batsmen have already consumed a lot of deliveries. He just has 6, 7 overs, and he has to start going from ball one, which is not easy even for the best strikers in the world at times. So I think you need to build his confidence, and I think he's been selected in ODI squad. I would love to see him start in ODI team. Also, I would want him to bowl for. I mean, depends on his fitness, but I would want him to bowl 4 5 overs as well, because it again same thing in T20 cricket he gets hit for a lot of runs because he tries to do a lot of things in very less number of deliveries. When he'll get some time in ODIs where where the batsman will not go after him from ball one, I think then he will build that confidence at international level, and that will reflect in his T20 performance. So I think with Shivam Dubey, it's about how we use him. He has a lot of talent.
No, that's a very, very good point. But I would like to add, I see that he'll be used in his bowling quite a lot often than what he was used to. Because I see Gautam Gambhir, utilizing him more in the bowling. As if you see KKR and LSG, उसका history रहा है कि वो बहुत सारे all-rounder खिलाता है और सबको bowling देता है. In a match, he uses 6, 7, 8 bowlers in a match. So even in the Zimbabwe series, I want to correct you here, he was playing in the Zimbabwe series and he was the man of the match because he was bowling as well as batting. So when he contributes to the team with both bat and ball, then he is a very totally different player. Or like when you say that he was very slow in the World Cup, no, he wasn't. Actually, the pitches were slow. We saw that in most of the players' attributes. Everyone was starting slow. If you see how he played in CSK, he was starting very well. So what I believe in 2026, the World Cup is in India. So I expect him to play that way, like he played for CSK. So I push him to play explosively from ball one, and he has the capability to do that.
I understand you guys' point, and I think to a certain degree, in terms of batting, yes, he might get there and he might be a consistent player for India. But in terms of bowling, I don't see that happening. There's a reason why Chennai chose to use him as a impact sub throughout the season. India, even though he played every game, did not bowl a single over throughout the World Cup. There is a reason behind all of this. So maybe Gambhir has a different approach, and as Shivam rightly said, that he likes to play with a few extra all rounders than other coaches, and even use them for both batting and bowling rather than just one way or the other. But it's just one of those things. You can't have Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, all of these all rounders play at the same time. You're gonna have to pick between them. Especially knowing if someone like Arshdeep Singh and Siraj take up two spots, you can't have three or you can't have four pacers and a Sri Lankan wicket. You will have to pick between one or two of them. So he will get his chances, I think, but it just won't come to him as easy as it might for the rest of the team. Your guys' thoughts quickly, just while we finish this podcast. Hardik Pandya, not being the vice captain, coming back into this team, playing this T20 series, is this one of those things where he's just a filler in the squad, or do you think he'll be used properly and he'll perform well, knowing that there's so much going on with his life personally, so much that has happened in the last 6 months in cricket itself, in the IPL?
I think if he's there, he'll contribute. He'll be one of the core member of the team. He'll be in the leadership department as well because of so much experience that he has leading Gujarat Titans and Mumbai Indians for the past 2 years. So yes, he'll play a vital role in both T20 as well as ODIs. ODIs for sure because we have some plans for the Champions Trophy. So I think Hardik Pandya will be a very good contributor to the team.
I don't know. I'm on the fence on this. Like, why would you risk Hardik Pandya if you have other all-rounders to test out? I think if they wanted to like sack him, as Suleja put it, like they could have just said that we have rested Hardik Pandya and removed him from the series. I don't know why they have played him. Like, you have all-rounders, right? You have Shivam Dubey, you have Akshar Patel, you have Sundar, you have Riyan Parag now as well. Surya Kumar Yadav can also turn the ball. So you have a lot of all-rounders. I don't know, like if you wanted to sack him completely, and like yeah, let him come back after a while. That could have been an approach, but now that he's there, and if they use him and he gets injured, that would be another problem. Like much like because why I'm saying is that this is well not because of his personal life, but also because of his the workload that he took during the World Cup. I think in every match he was bowling as well as batting and was doing well. So obviously he's someone who does not does that very often and has had problems in the past. So again, it might sound very negative, but I would not play Hardik Pandya. I would not be surprised if they don't start Hardik Pandya.
I agree on this, and I think that's the reason why they've gone with so many all-rounders. They want to test out and see what combination works right at the end of the batting lineup. They've got time and they want to test it out. They're starting off with a mixture of 5 options, 6 options, and they'll skim it down to 3 maybe come next year. And in the World Cup, you'll take 2 or 3 of them, depending on what kind of conditions there are. Big schedule coming up for India. We've got 3 T20 games against Sri Lanka, 3 ODI games against Sri Lanka, and then 2 test matches against Bangladesh at home, and then a T20 series against Bangladesh as well, and then a home test series against New Zealand as well in October, which is right before the test matches in Australia. And in between those, there are also the game of South Africa, जहाँ पे वो T20s और हो रहे हैं. तो more or less, it's a way of saying कि भाई this Indian team is not set in stone, and I think every series will have a very different combination to the last one. Most of it will be because they want to rotate players. They want to give the players chances. A lot is coming up, but let's quickly just give our predictions for the Sri Lanka series. 3 T20 games, 3 ODI games. What are you guys' thoughts? Is it going to be a clean sweep for India, or is Sri Lanka going to fire back?
I think it will be 2-1 in T20s and 3-0 in ODIs. India, 2-1 India.
I would say it will be a 3-0, 3-0 clean sweep. India is going to win it.
I agree with
Too
Shivam.
good a team.
Bro,
Now
then
I'm just
you
gonna
guys
give whatever
should think that
predictions Shivam
this.
gives. He's got the World Cup so right that I might as well just agree. No, but look at the Sri Lankan team. No disrespect to them, but realistically, they don't stand a chance against this Indian contingent. And you look at that team, and special T20s, you're right. You might give them the off chance that one game they perform well, but in ODIs, it's as the format gets longer, the more skill is required to win the game, and the luck factor just decreases. So in ODIs, I don't see Sri Lanka coming even close to it. I'll be very surprised if there's a game where they bat out all 50 overs, if they bat first or even second first. Like, this is no disrespect to them, but that's just the team that they have currently. They're in this whole rebuilding phase. T20s mein,
Yeah.
most I'll give them is chalo, give them that one victory that they might have because India has an off day, or they have this explosive start and they beat India. But other than that, I don't see India having any issues. They've taken a very strong squad there, which is usually not the case. Usually you send out your youngsters, you've just won the World Cup, you're still trying out things, there's still time. But suddenly now that they know that they need to be prepared for the Champions Trophy and this is their only chance, they're sending out the big guns. And once you do that, it's not going to be easy for Sri Lanka.
भाई देखो, मेरा ऐसा है कि मैं तो जिम्बाब्वे जो टीम भेजी थी उसको भी नहीं बोलता कि बहुत वीक टीम थी. वो अच्छी टीम थी. एंड यू लॉस्ट the first game to a team that lost to Uganda. So I am not very confident with 3-0. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, like, if you lose to a team that lost to Uganda and lost its place in the World Cup, where 20 teams played, then you can lose to Sri Lanka and India for sure. So 2-1. This time I'll get it right, I'm sure.
You want India to lose?
I don't want India to lose, but I'm so frustrated, man. Like, how could you lose to Zimbabwe? I mean, Uganda. I never thought Uganda even has water in their country. Forget about getting a World Cup squad. No disrespect, no racism, but like, yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. No, just like I said, कि जैसे the format increases, you go from T20s to ODIs to test matches, the luck factor just decreases. And it's one of those things that India had their off day and suddenly Zimbabwe capitalized on that and they did what they had to do. So it was just one of those moments. And do I think that's going to happen again? No. It's a good learning for all of these youngsters कि they might have come into this ego में लेके कि यार देखो यार मैंने तो 50 गेम IPL खेले में 100-200 रन बनाए में centuries है मेरे पास, ये कौन सी टीम है? And suddenly when you're hit with that and you think, okay, wait, hold on, international team होती है. It gives you that perspective. So I don't see it happening against Sri Lanka. I'll be very surprised, but if it does happen, it calls for good views, and that's exactly what we need right now. We've got a few copyright claims from BCCI coming after us on our channel. भाई गिनती के 100 subscriber है, BCCI उसमें पीछे पड़ा हुआ है. But that's all for today's podcast. I think we've covered the gist of everything that is going around Indian cricket. We wish well to Hardik Pandya as a team, and we're all behind him. I think a lot has been said and done throughout the last 6 months without knowing what has been going on in his personal life, and a lot of people have apologized for that and realized that that everyone is dealing with stuff and everyone is going through stuff. So it's better to just support them and be there for them when they need that. And it doesn't hurt a lot to just go into Hardik Pandya's comments and just say we're here, or just drop some emojis, or just drop a comment saying we're his fans, instead of going there and giving hate. And the same goes for his partner as well.
It doesn't hurt to drop a comment on our videos as well.
Exactly. Once you've done that for Hardik Pandya, you can come here leave a like rating, make sure you follow us, and leave a comment as well. Give your thoughts on Indian cricket and where it's heading, and what do you expect from Gautam Gambhir's era, which is regarded as one of the most exciting eras in recent cricket. I read on an article the other day. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, stay safe.